What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blaze again with King's Critiques for the start of Yuri Monday, our favorite time of the week. And of course, we're starting off with See You at the Food Court, because that's where we always start, because it's the first thing uploaded in the day. If I had a choice, I'd do one already, because I really want to, get some closure for what happened last week. But we will get that in a little bit for the time being. However, we got this. We get to see the next adventures of Yamato and Wada, and what kind of silliness will ensue today. Let me know your thoughts on this show so far. It's not exactly Yuri bait per se, but hey, or it's not exactly Yuri per se, but it is bait, so it's close enough, right? Especially because it's already confirmed that at least one half of this thing is definitely on the Yuri side. Because listen, if a lot of the shit we've seen so far doesn't mean Yamamoto has a crush on Wada, what does? Like her name as her password, making sure to wear things that she was given consistently. It's not like she just wore it once, not. She had that sweater on at least one episode after being given it. But, enough chatter about that. Let me know your thoughts on the show thus far in the comment section, whether it be before the episode, after the episode, whatever. It's just some silly, goofy, good time fun, and we love shows like that. I think we actually have two this season that are like that, this and something else. Why I can't remember what the other one is, beyond me, but hey, doesn't matter. What does matter is my caveats of, number one, I apologize for the air conditioner in the background, but listen, it's 84 out, it's been on all night, because honestly, I feel like if I'm going to use power for that or the fan, it's using power either way to keep me cold in the middle of the night. So I may as well just leave the AC on and it does its job well, mostly. Still doesn't change the fact it's probably pretty hot if I turn it off, but you know how I do. Second caveat, as per usual, if the video is shorter than intended, do blame YouTube for that, because the red guys don't know how to check for copyright properly. They just have an AI do everything and are lazy as all hell with it, because I follow the exact text of the law, and they don't give a flying fuck. The next caveat would be, like I already said, it's highly encouraged and appreciated if y'all are checking out the show to leave a comment to converse with myself or other people, because that's good for the algorithm, as is the last caveat, which is it's always appreciated to leave things running if you're not going to have conversations, as well as hit the like button and subscribe, because it all helps out immensely and is very free to do so. That said, let's finally get into the episode after my 4 minutes of jarring on, shall we? This is a factual statement that I've ever seen. Because, that statement is the literal reason why my air conditioner has been on in a lot of episodes. And, I know it kind of affects my audio quality, and I do highly apologize about that. Because I've actually noticed while editing that I sound a little bit more, echoey and robotic while the air conditioner is on, as opposed to when it's off. And again, I do highly apologize about that, but, listen, the higher echelon of content creators that get millions of dollars per week, like a certain streamer I watch who refuses that he's rich, but yeah, whatever. And then there's me, who is at the literal bottom of the barrel as a content creator, human being, and many other things. So if I am a little annoying for the air conditioner, I do apologize, but it sure is summer. Okay, but Wada's base for this, because I too hate the dentist for many reasons. Because, listen, if I end up bleeding out, I don't want, there to be an excuse that the people connected to me can't get them in trouble. I'm just saying, because listen, I've been to the dentist in recent history. Not recent enough, clearly, if you pay attention to, those split moments when everything of this monstrosity is shown. But, point being, they can't do as much for me by this point in my life as I would want them to. So it's that is unfortunate, considering it's going to take a lot of work and effort. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, okay, literally with her being a jar, though, I was expecting that to be a fake tan, but that's her brother, so alright. Okay, what kind of problems can this bitch have where she has problems with heat and cold? I get the cold aspect, but heat? Maybe my teeth aren't that bad, because, damn. Okay, but like, is that the best way to tell your friend that you ran into a molester? I mean, granted, fair timing on his half for doing that as you rode by on a bike. Like, I'm not saying I approve of it, but is good timing. Even if she does have bigger targets, not Wada, but Yamato. But like, eh, timing good, intentions horrible. He did double fist pump. Okay, but like the entire time, yeah, Wada's been staring at what I just made a point about, like, because Yamamoto was complaining about losing touch with her girly side, about how she couldn't like shriek or eke out or anything actually girly as a reaction. But listen, it's one of those things where like, yeah, you have more of a manly mindset perhaps when it comes to certain things. But listen, you can never invalidate the true female side of yourself, even if your personality has become a bit more masculine. Not really a bad thing, as long as you're, like, honest. The point I just made, again, not appropriate to do without consent, but at least Wada knows the point she's making. Yeah, that's terrible. Bro! Damn, when a kid in elementary school rips on you for being very boy-like, that's terrible. Cause like both sides of the equation look the same. So like if you're already being nailed for being very dude-like as a child, that's fucked up. Cause like you never know who somebody's gonna grow into in elementary school, so it's questionable to make decisions like that. Like high key, at this point in my life, I do kind of wish I'd kept better connection with some of the people I knew in elementary school. Because I mean, there was one girl that actually had a crush on me. So like hindsight, I kind of wish I would have like kept in touch, you know? Because like maybe after failing the girl I had a crush on, I could like got to know that person better. But that's why hindsight's a bitch and life sucks. She just eked IRL. She just made her other point invalid from before. So no, it was not. So she did order the large ramen, and she probably did not finish it. I'm gonna take a wild assumption that she's going to run into that molester that Yamamoto mentioned, but he's just gonna pass her by, and it's going to be a huge insult. Or even funnier, it's that kid she was referring to from elementary school. Okay, I chose the wrong time to pause it, but also who wants to take a guess that it's actually Yamamoto who decided to sneak up on her? Because the title of the episode was "We Live in Opposite Directions," but a best friend would so fuck with a best friend just by following them the wrong direction on purpose. What'd I say? Wow, she was actually that intimidated by Yamamoto fucking with her. Okay, but like, even if Yamamoto was the one that fucked with her, you see my point I made in the beginning, right? Ah, so you did have a fight, it just wasn't a cat fight. Well, a little twerp got yeeted out of the window and learned his lesson. This is only half true advice to throw your little brother out the window if he's annoying. Okay, but like that face. That is a face, all right. Decent thumbnail material potentially. Okay, but like relatable mostly. I don't really do that second thing much anymore. I just do it out of pure stress. But like the rest of it is totally relatable. And I guess technically like screaming at yourself repeatedly for hours on end when rejection happens technically is self-harm. Like it's not quite self-harm, but it's also technically self-harm because your throat ends up hurting. So you do, huh? Well, I mean, hey, like if she kind of looks like you, she won't be single for much longer. Eh? What? Hey, listen. If a lot of anime have shown you, the mothers of Joru's are always so mean. Like, listen, I'm just saying, Like, this is one of those cases where a girl in her 20s or 30s, has the kind of capability to have a child like that. She's probably pretty fine. And listen, I'd be fine with that. So, like, I'm getting older. My standards are, like, still at an okay level, but they're dipping in certain areas for shorten. Okay, well, she's going on about some crazy shit. How much, like, more mature does she think she's going to get by the time he's going through puberty? Because, like, by the time Yamamoto's brother is going through puberty, that'll be only like 2, 3 years. And that'll mean she'll only be 2, 3 years older, which technically would put her closer to 18 proper adult age. So I guess she is theoretically correct. But also, does her body really have more room to change and develop to, like, make her more respectable to people going through puberty? Like, between the two of them, listen, Yamamoto has it. I said during the other part that just happened that, like, while it is completely immoral and fucked up to do what happened that she mentioned, I will at least say they had good aim for being on a bike. I mean, granted, she had some targets, but, like, good aim all the same for being on a bike and trying to pull some shit off. Wada, on the other hand, I don't think she could pull off that same level of respect from anybody. No. Wada, no. Okay, based brother, though. Okay, listen, you can't change somebody's perspective on that thing very easily. Like, people will accept certain things, but I don't think you can change their opinions fully. Because, like, listen, one of my, like, 2 or 3 last girlfriends that I had many years ago. I tell you what, one of those girls didn't have very big booba. I still fell in love with her just the same. And yet, it's disappointment. But really, of all my exes, I really do wish the one that caused me this streak of 16 years of misery, I could find her just to get closure. Because, like, maybe that closure would, like, I don't know, lock things in for this shitty existence I have. Yeah, I mean, isn't that flower the one that Vileplume is based off from, actually? Damn, the way Yamamoto's talking about has Wada a little bit jealous. It's like, well, I'm usually by myself, so talking to some people is fun. It's like, was it? Was it fun? Jealous Wada. Like, whether it's from the friend perspective or the other perspective, jealousy, man. Like, it happens. I know. I understand. At least Wada's admitting it. I've always admitted it too. That still hasn't, like, changed scaring off everyone I've ever known from me just dealing with shit myself, but hey, for her sake. She's actually throwing a tantrum. I was about to point out how that other, like, preppy, possibly Jar like friend of theirs, was the one she was referring to that has a curling iron, but Wada's just literally throwing a temper tantrum. Holy shit. Again, that statement is more on, like, the Yuri perspective than the friend perspective. I'm just saying. Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty good assessment. But, like, you're also hotter than any male host in anything I've seen. I've only seen, like, 2 things involving male hosts, but my point remains. However, we've already shown many examples of Yamamoto being the one who, likes Wada more in that regard, so of course she's gonna give in. Okay, Wada's being very quiet. Did she, like, I don't know, tantrum in the gay direction so hard she, like, broke? That is not Wada. Huh. Okay, but, like, you could see where she made the mistake, right? This girl just, like, so exhausted. Apparently she knows she looks like Wada to the point where this is, like, a thing that happens enough she recognizes it. Of course it circles back to that. And she is so confused. Because he flipped up your skirt and you started liking him? Or thought he liked you specifically? Because, like, if you two started dating, like, near the beginning of middle school or something, that would probably make more sense, Because middle school girls, pretty foolish, at least back in the day. And nowadays, it's a whole different conversation. But, like, back in my day, yeah, middle school girls were mostly kind of foolish. And, like, if a boy flipped his skirt, they'd be like, oh, hey, he likes me. No, he's just doing it for fun. Of course. Of course that was it. That, like, on the one end, it's kind of complimentary because it's like, thank you. That must mean she's attractive, right? Right? That's what the hope would be. And then you finally meet the actual person, and it's like, I don't know if I should take it as a compliment anymore. Because, like, listen, Wada's cute, but also, I don't know if I'd take that as a compliment. Yeah, I would. Though, I will say, listen, hey, if somebody ever wanted to, like, I don't know, hit on me because I look like somebody else, even though, like, I'm totally the most unattractive person in the world, I go with it, personally. I don't know. It's like, hey, listen, you want to go out with me because, like, I look like somebody else and, like, that somebody else is unobtainable? I work with it. I don't care. Fuck, I'll change my name if you want. I love how she defends herself on that. Just like, I've never been suspended, by the way. Like, that's just an accusation. You know, I think it'd be funnier if while she's in this position, though, Wada comes in like, when did I get here? I'm here. When did I get here? She probably hates giving this advice. Being asked if she should break up with her boyfriend now, Yamato just is in headache mode. Like, this is why I'm a loner. I don't want to deal with this shit. Pretty much what I said. Like, honestly though, from her perspective, it's kind of a thought process because, like, do you break up with your boyfriend because you remind him of somebody else? That is a good reason to do so, but you at least should clarify is the only reason he's with her because of that. Because, like, listen, if she's not cool with that, then you should at least get down to the details of it. I mean, if she's fine with it, in the end, if he says there's other reasons he likes her, that's fine. But also, how is she always dealing with such crybabies? Also, valid fact on all sides of the equation. Just saying, if you're with someone who's clearly a scumbag, don't put up with it. There's much better people out there, even if they're unattractive. So we all know where this is going, right? Like, she read her mind? Though, then again, I guess this gives yet another reason as to why Yamato feels how she does, because, listen, your best friend can read your mind. Like, come on, that's already a good sign, right? Also, I'm not a whipped cream person, but I love French toast, and that looks incredible. The literal, you read my mind squeeze. Okay, so we also didn't end up with the awkward situation like I thought we would. Because, like, high-key, I kind of thought he'd run into Wada first, and then there'd be some awkward interaction after the fact. It's like, well, actually, yes, I did. Also, you said it wrong. Such silly lesbians. I love them. And again, listen, I know it's more on the Yuri bait aspect of things, but also you can't deny that, like, at least on the one end of things, it is kind of a fact. Like, Yamamoto certainly feels more than a certain way about Wada. Like, one way or the other, that much is true and factual. Because, like, listen, a lot of stuff we just saw kind of clears in that direction. But, like, number one, I will say I do kind of wish, like, I had a doppelganger that, like, would be enough to, like, have somebody, you know, want to date me in that case. Because, like, listen, I'd be fine with it. I've had some fucking people that say in my long-haired days I kind of look like Peter Dinklage. Like, hey, listen, he's not a terrible-looking little guy, so, like, if I also could be a not terrible-looking little guy when I'm long-haired mode, honestly, I'd be fine with it. Though I will say his worst look is that movie with Channing Tatum that's coming out soon. Funny fucking movie, it looks like. but like him looking that dorky, I don't know if that's his best look, honestly. That's beside the point, though. Like, the point here is, I don't know, lesbians, comedy, both. Regardless, let me know your thoughts on everything, though, because, like, overall, we know two things from this show every episode, regardless, and that's that Yamato does indeed have a crush on her best friend, and that can't be denied, and also, two, that Yamato is super hot. But that's just, like, Gyaru's standard for the most part. Like, have I seen an unattractive Gyaru in an anime in the past? Yes. It's just very rare. Actually, correction. I think the most unattractive Gyaru I've seen was, I think that one from Aharen. Not like the one that got introduced. No, it's not Aharen. What show was that where, like, the Gyaru is, like, very Gyaru-like? Like, it looked like she took Gyaru classes and please don't take offense by me saying that, or saying this. She took Gyaru classes in, like, some, third world country, because the makeup looks very... I don't know the way to put this. Like, the type of people that dance around a campfire, that kind of makeup. I was really trying to put it in a way that wouldn't sound, like, rude or offensive, but, like, that's the best way I can put it. Like, the makeup they put on, like, the witch doctor masks and shit? Yeah, that kind of makeup. What show was that? Was that Aaron? Was that Comey? Was that... It was some rom-com thing. That I do know. I just can't remember it. It was something we watched, like, within the last season or two also. That terrible how my memory is? Whatever. I have other needs growing, so I guess I'll wrap this up with the... Let me know your thoughts and opinions about the show, about their relationship, whether it be friendship, whatever else. Your thought processes on any other topic we discussed within this episode, because, listen, being, perverted is fine in small doses, but don't do what either the Takizawa kid did or what the person on the bike did, which, again, great timing, great aim, but not cool to do. And also let me know about any other shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the gaming channel in the description, description. Ring both bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, and Blue Sky. Keep updated with things, TikTok, Patreon, get the full unedited vision on all the stuff I upload here. But if I don't get frequent subscribers over there, it will be a month-by-month basis, depending on how much I can upload, because Patreon, all these years later, somehow does not have... an expansive storage space. Crazy how they're trying to be like, kind of YouTube adjacent with like more lenient rules, and yet they're still fucking it up. Go follow Purple Prime for free. Helped me out immensely. Check out the playlist here. Let it run through a conversation with stuff within whatever. Check out the video recommended to you by YouTube here. Or if you're watching the smaller version, the bigger version of the video, because you might miss some stuff. I started a green account, might start watching some stuff there later this week to do some longer streams. Until next time, been the Blaze Gangs out. Talk to you for now. Peace.